Greetings. My name is Grand Tuhon, Leo T. Gaje Jr. I am the Supreme Grand Master of the TBD Persia College system. What you see here are the ancient blades of the modern times and the living past. These are the blades that were utilized and used by the Filipino Katipuneros against the Spanish atrocities. And what you see here are the blades, they call the calis, coming from the different provinces and different cultures. This is the Campila, which is the symbolic blade of the Philippines fighting against the Spaniards that killed Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. It was symbolic during this few number of years, but it is also significant in the history of the Filipino fighting system. The Filipino fighting system is the most effective fighting system that has been recorded in history of the Pacific. The three major wars that were fought in the Philippines were under the culture of Filipino blades. The Filipino blade culture proved that in 1521, this Campilan killed Ferdinand Magellan, the famous conquistador and the famous circumnavigator of the world. From 1521 to 1898, the Philippines had suffered so much atrocities that the Filipino warriors fought against the Spaniards all those years. And all of these blades were utilized against the Spanish atrocities. And today it's being reconciled and presented in its original form, more of its effectivity and more of its elements that is put into these blades. People do not understand that the Filipino blades has its own secretness. The secretness of the Filipino blades is the fact that all these blades has been soaked into the blood of the Filipino warriors and also against the enemy's blood. And for today, the Filipino blades has been brought into the history as the history of the Filipino fighting system. This Campilan is very significant, although it is always found in the statue of Ferdinand of Datu Lapu-Lapu and Cebu and in Manila and different places in the Philippines. But this Campilan can be a souvenir, also a replica, also a full weapon to be used against any kind of weaponry. And this technology of this Campilan is guaranteed that once it will hit another blade, it will cut another blade because of its tempering and the elements of steel that is put into these components. The blades that is being seen here today, as being shown here, is coming from a different culture. We have three kinds of weaponry in the Philippines. They call the weapons of the commoner, the weapons of the executioner, and the weapons of the royalties. These are the weapons which are important, but the weapons of the executioner are also composed of its uses also for combat. And what you see here on the left side, these are the weapons used for combat. These are used by the Katipuneros in the early days against the Spaniards. Here we have a lineup of kris in different structure. The kris here comes with an even blade and the one that is even blade. And each one has its own purpose. But the use of this kris is for execution against the enemy. And today this has been found that this kris has its own fighting combat system. The fact that it is designed according to the principles of fighting in close quarter. We have an interesting blade here, which will be named later. But this blade here has been effective in many instances during the revolutions of the Philippines. This is one of the favorite blades of the Katipuneros. And this blade has been used for long range and also for close range. It is light and it is well sharpened, and it is very fast and it's delivery because you have to use your two hands and it's attack and counter attack. This is the weapon that becomes the most significant weapons during the revolution. There are so many weapons that we have here that is very significant. The one that is very important here is the gununting, which is being used 90% by the Tiponeros. Now it is being used as the official blade of the Philippine Marines. It has been in action for so many years, and this is the most feared fighting blade by the insurgents in the Philippines. Why this is the favorite weapon? Because it has its own principles of gravity. When it is being contacted into the target, it cuts the body by the kilos. And if it is being delivered to the neck, it will cut the neck just as easy as it is. See? So there is no obstruction. Once you cut the legs, cut the arms, it will cut through the bones. This is called the ginunting. And here we have these different blades here. This is also used by the commoner. This one is used for cutting hard objects, but this is also used for cutting the heads, especially cutting the bones for the elements of surprise. These are the blades, we call it chanan. Chanan as that the pregnant blades that are also used for close quarters. And all the design, it's heavy because it will cut through and through whenever the subject is to be cut through the neck and executed in one instance. And it's being used for cutting the legs and cutting the arms. Each blade has its own philosophy, and the history of the Philippine blade has been proven to be effective during those years of 330 years. It went up to the time of the metal blade of the early fighters, which is called the Dahong Palay, or the leaves of the rice fields that grows this rice in different lands and becomes the food of the Filipinos. The Dahong Palay is a very expressive blade because it has its own weight and it has its own power to deliver in terms of cutting and also on thrusting. This is used